Hi there. My name is Patrick, and I want to welcome you to this training, which is kind of an introductory and industry overview of the agency staffing and recruitment market. My background, actually, I've been in recruiting since 2005, both on all levels of contract and full-time. Hopefully we'll go through this quickly and you can learn a little bit that kind of give you an insight as to like what our industry offers and how we operate as a company. So here we go. So one, we're just professional matchmakers. That's really what it is. When people ask me, what do you do? And I say, I'm a recruiter. It's the easiest way to explain it. Like we match employers to employees and we get paid a service fee from the employer for doing so. And in many cases, it's very rewarding for both parties. And I say this quite often is that, we help people with their careers advance or find new opportunities. And if you think about it, you're going to spend the majority of your waking time as an adult in working in your career and the thing you love. So if you can help someone in that, I think that's one of the best things that you can do is helping someone in that aspect. So again, this is the easiest way to explain what we do, professional matchmakers. But where do we fit in? So here's basically what it comes down to be. You've got an employer and employee. Both are looking to match with each other, and some just don't know where to go. As crazy as it sounds, like we're just hybriding both sides of the spectrum. And when it comes to hiring employees, you've got different levels. So you've got internal human resources and kind of what they do and how they go about it. You've got recruiting agencies, I'll get into that. You've got recruitment process or outsourcing, RPO. This is a company that is hired to just do all the hiring for a company. And then you got job boards where you go and post a job and you hope that the applicant that's qualified finds your job, and then you have to go through the screening process. So we basically provide a service where we are finding the candidates, we're screening them, we're coaching them, we're guiding them, we're consulting them all the way along up until employment and even afterwards. And we charge a fee for that. It's very time intensive. And where we fit in this market is we're in between. Now, from a recruiting agency perspective, we're not used for all of a company's hiring. It just isn't cost effective for them. But we're usually a source for very difficult hires, and we're a source for when they want to hire people on a contract basis for a short term to finish out a project. And basically, they want to lease those employees from us. So how do we do it? Really simple. We have a method of sourcing. We pay for a lot of leads that we have from different sources. We then convert our candidates through our website and various models of a form online. We track them within our applicant tracking system and CRM. And then we do specific matching for those jobs. And we use it, of course, through our team of people you've probably met who do a lot of the client relationship and candidate relationship of our business. So here's a glossary of terms. I'll try to go through them real quickly. You're going to hear these quite often, but candidate is a term we use for employee, client for employer. Submittal is when a candidate was sent to a client for consideration. Send out, another key term for when an interview has been requested from a client with a candidate. Bill rate, this is a term we use when we're saying, how much are we going to bill the company? So how much money we charge our client for each of our employees, of the employees that works on assignment. So an example is they'll say the bill rate is $50 per hour and we're going to pay the person $25 per hour. So our markup or what our profit is going to be $25. Business development is just soliciting our services to employers. KPI is a term for key performance indicators, the metrics we use to measure the success we're having. Gross margin kind of ties to bill rate. Gross margin was the profit that we're having after those expenses. Okay. Our recruiter is the person responsible for the relationship with the job candidate. Sourcing is the person, or the sourcer is the person who searches, matches, and matches a candidate to a job. Pipeline is the number of candidates we have in consideration for a job. A peaker, that's just a term we use to say someone's not on the market, but they're open to an opportunity. It would just to be very specific. A seeker is someone definitely looking to make a job and they're actively interviewing for a job. ATS is applicant tracking system. That's what we use for our candidates. CRM is our customer relationship manager. That's the portion we use for the clients, the employers. Boolean, this is a term that is a formula of a search string of keywords that allows you to refine your search, especially when you're on a website like LinkedIn or Indeed. You want to refine it by using and or statements, using parentheses and paragraphs to be able to kind of help kind of narrow down who you're looking for. Skill market, that's a term we use when we say, we're going to take a candidate, we found this person to be very valuable in a specific type of job, in a specific kind of city, in a specific kind of salary range, and we're going to go find companies in the market that we think might need them. So in essence, we're going to bring in the employee to the employer. Proactive is another term we use. It's when we provide a candidate to a client without a job opening. So, a client didn't give us a job to work on, but we know the client really well, and we say, hey, client, look at this person we've got for you. Would you be interested? Wasn't sure because we see a lot of overlapping matching here, and we thought we'd let you know ahead of time. And then last thing is a pre-screen. That's a conversation we have with a candidate about their experience, their credentials that are relevant to a job. So there's 3 types of placements that we offer. Permanent placement, that's where the employer hires the employee through a referral, negotiated fee that is paid to us. Sometimes 20 to 30% is on average, and we guarantee the person for 90 days. Contract placement is basically the employee works for our company, and then we lease them out to the employer on a contract basis, and that employer pays us either a percent markup or a bill rate that we charge them for every hour the person works. And the last one is contract to perm. It's kind of like try before you buy is what we call it. And so it's where an employer says, hey, we can't afford to pay that big fee, but we'll pay it every week for about 90 days, maybe 6 months, while we test out this candidate and see if they're good for the job. And if at any point we feel like they are, we'll go ahead and buy them out, make them full-time, and buy out the rest of the contract. So we'll typically, again, either negotiate a fee or a bill rate or a percent markup. And then the candidate has a number of hours they have to finish working for us before they end up becoming a permanent employee of that. So we're leasing out that employee for the short term until they become kind of full-time. And then last thing is there's really 6 jobs that it takes for a recruiting group to be successful. So one is the sourcer. That's the person finding the job. So some of them use tools like LinkedIn to find them, search them. We're going to have a recruiter, an experienced person responsible for consulting a candidate all the way through the steps. That usually is someone with more experience. A business developer, that's another person who's soliciting and selling our services of what we offer to companies, and they use the term skill market a lot to market our candidates. An account manager who will manage that account. Their job is to manage the relationship with each individual hiring manager or human resources manager for every job that we have under management. A data manager, this is someone to ensure that the data going into our database is proper, clean, and accurate, and they're also going through to make sure they're managing the data we have in there. And the last thing is a matcher, the person who's actually responsible for matching candidates in our database to open jobs, because one of the biggest factors we see is that we've done a lot of work to find candidates in the first place. We just need to make sure that they don't stay dormant in our database because they might match for other jobs. So with that, thanks for listening to me. It's kind of an introduction of the industry of recruiting and staffing. Hope you learned a lot, and I look forward to chatting with you again.